Anderson and Zavayan over in Lyman. Happy birthday to you all. If you'd like for us to mention a birthday on the air, you can find the submission form on our website at foxcarolina.com. Just go to community and then birthday announcements. 8:53, we're celebrating National Tequila Day all week long because why not? Coming up at 9, a spicy margarita recipe you can whip up yourself. All right, y'all, 8:55. Welcome back. It's time for Word of the Day. It is. It's a great way to help boost your vocabulary and ours and learn a little something new. So today's Word of the Day, drum roll, please. It is verve. It means spirit and enthusiasm or animated artistic expression. You know, we might have just did a little verve.
I think we did.
Synonyms include energy or vitality, which me and Margaret Ann have a lot of. For example, the artist painted the sunset mural with great verve. All right, now.
You read that with great verve.
Thank you, babe. Now to some sports news this morning. The Carolina Panthers NFL team just unveiled a new helmet and uniform combination, asking fans to, quote, witness our dark side. Ooh. It's all black look with the outline of the Panthers logo in blue. The team announced the new look will debut in their November game against the Atlanta Falcons. Fans took to social media with excitement over the announcement there as well. Speaking of the Panthers, they're going to be heading to training camp at Wofford College in Spartanburg beginning next week. The 13-day slate will start on Wednesday and then run through August 11th with their Fan Fest. The full schedule is on our website, foxcarolina.com. Well, from flight delays to lost luggage, air travel can be stressful. We'll show you how a special crew at a local airport is working to provide some comfort, though. Maybe it'll include that four-legged friend there. The scene is clearing in a deadly crash, but we'll have more on that coming up in just a moment.
committed to you. Fox Carolina, the morning news starts now.
It's a multi-billion-dollar deal that would bring thousands of jobs to our region. We're going to have an update on Hyundai's plans to build electric cars in Georgia. And South Carolina has great places to enjoy the outdoors. And now millions of dollars are on the way to improve our trails, including some right here in the upstate. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Margaret Ann Carter.
And I'm Margaret Burnquist. Thanks for being with us on the Morning News at 9. Pop-up shops. Those are full of surprises and good finds if you're out looking. And now a pop-up thrift shop this Saturday. Its proceeds are brighten the lives of some kids. We're going to tell you about that opportunity. But I know over in the weather department, there's a different kind of popping up.
Yes, pop-up showers possible. We are going into a first alert weather day tomorrow. Today, though, maybe not so bad, Brian.
Right. Today, we're looking at still that chance for some pop-up showers and some thunderstorms, as you were talking about there, Margaret. But we're looking at the greater potential for severe weather coming in on our Thursday, and that's why we're calling tomorrow that first alert weather day. More on that coming up. Let's focus on this morning's weather, which, at times has been a little bit showery, but, largely cloudy again in a lot of areas. First alert radar showing some sun managing to break through around Newberry County and into other parts of the upstate around Lawrence and toward Abbeville. Cloudier skies for the most part of the mountains as well, where you've had some spotty sprinkles this morning, but we're seeing this little nasty storm get going in northeast Georgia. It's just outside of the immediate viewing area, but if you're looking off toward the southwest of Elberton this morning, while you're having some light rain there, you're no doubt seeing some darker skies and hearing some distant thunder. That storm is going to stay away, but I highlight it just to illustrate the fact that it's already warm and unstable enough to support some storms out there even at this hour. Temperatures now in the mid-upper 70s for most upstate areas. Greenville at 78, Anderson 77, Greenwood and Newberry up to 79. Heading to the mountains also mostly in the 70s, but Brevard and Asheville still hanging on the slightly cooler side in the upper 60s. So with that ongoing threat of storms and more likely to fire up again this afternoon, make sure if you are going to the pool today, you keep a watchful eye on the sky and are ready to duck indoors if those storms threaten. We'll see seasonably hot conditions again and humid with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Much more on tomorrow's first alert weather day coming up in a few minutes. But now 9:02, let's get over to Chris for traffic.
Yeah, Brian, our breaking traffic news has been Church Street at East North all morning long. Downtown Greenville, a fatality and an earlier accident about 6:30 this morning caused that. There are a lot of areas closed down from Coffee Street, Washington Street, Beatty Street, East North, Church Street, in those areas right near the well. I do know for a fact that they have cleaned everything up. They just have not reopened the roadways yet. The wreckers have already towed the vehicles off. They've gotten the debris out of the way. So I'm thinking in the next little while, hopefully in the next 10, 15 minutes, they'll be opening up all those areas that are closed in that particular area. Here's a look downtown. This is the Liberty Building. That's the East North and the East North at Church Street area. This is Church Street coming through the courthouse there, Christ Church, and the well. So again, a lot of those areas all around the Spring Street included have been closed down as Greenville police have been on scene directing traffic. But we hope in the next little while they're going to open that up. We will let you know as soon as they do and get you around all of that downtown at East North and Church Street, where a fatality from earlier this morning is now being cleared.
It's 9:03, developing for you this morning. Leaders in Georgia, they are close to finalizing the largest economic deal in state history. Earlier this year, Hyundai announced that it would build a $5.5 billion electric vehicle plant near Savannah. An economic development agency approved portions of the agreement this week, including an incentives package. The full details won't be released until the deal is fully done, of course, but they do plan to open that plant in 2025, and employ at least 8,100 people. So really big for that area. Meanwhile, the Senate is advancing a bill to boost the production of semiconductor chips in the U.S. Lawmakers passed a slimmed-down version of their original bill. The measure will provide about $54 billion in subsidies along with tax credits to companies that build plants in the U.S. The bill now moves to the House and could be passed by next week. A federal agency is proposing more regulations to protect people who lose money to scams. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau plans to push banks to compensate people who are victims of money transfer service scams. Apps like Zelle, Venmo, and PayPal, they've all been popular for scammers because they allow for quick transfers of money that are difficult to reverse. Banks are currently only required to repay customers for payments that they do not authorize. It's not clear how much they would be required to cover, though. And we've seen hundreds of flight delays and cancellations this summer already. And there's another issue that is now preparing, or you should prepare for at least if you do plan to fly. That's lost and delayed luggage. Ooh, hate that. The U.S. Transportation Department says that nearly 220,000 bags were mishandled by airlines just in the month of April alone. If your bag is lost or delayed, the airline is required to give you some compensation for it. Experts also recommend putting essentials in your carry-ons just in case. Many travelers are now using air tags or maybe even tiles. These can help you track the location of your bag. That is not a bad idea. And if thoughts of navigating the airport, the crowds, the security have you stressed out, you're not alone. Reporter Mandy Gaither is showing us how the Asheville Airport is easing anxiety with the help of some four-legged friends.
In North Carolina, it's busier than ever at Asheville Regional Airport.
You've got a lot of travelers who are just trying to accomplish a lot of different things, standing in lines, getting checked in, going through security screening.
Oh my gosh, you're so pretty.
But Murphy is helping to ease some travel woes. He's one of 15 ambassadors that roam the halls with their trainers with only one job: to provide a little love.
You can see some of that stress, physically see it melt away.
Even at our lowest times, animals can provide joy and companionship.
I've been a long-term believer in the connection between mental health and pets.
Cleveland Clinic psychologist Susan Albers says they can reduce stress, even help with depression and anxiety.
When we interact with pets, there is a decrease in the cortisol level. Cortisol is the stress hormone that pumps throughout our body when we're feeling stressed and overwhelmed.
The airport celebrates the birth of its program every year, along with holidays, a kissing booth on Valentine's Day. That's right, smooches from pooches. They plan to expand the program.
When you witness that with your own eyes, you realize, this is a great service for travelers.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
I want to go take part in Smooches for Pooches. Asheville Airport leaders say that the dogs will never approach people without permission. They say that all volunteers go through intense training before they join the program, and dozens of airports around the U.S. have programs like Paws for Passengers, but many have not restarted it since the pandemic.
Well, new this hour at 9:07, $1.2 million will be spent to improve trail projects across South Carolina, including some in the upstate. The Green Crescent Trail in Clemson is one of 11 projects to receive funding from the Federal Recreational Trails Program. The project will get $100,000 to fund the Gateway Park Connector. We've also learned Malden's Gilder Creek Trail will get $125,000, and Conisty Nature Preserve will get $93,000 to make that trail suitable for mountain biking. The South Carolina's Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism says outdoor activity boomed during the pandemic, and it's a great time to invest in these recreational spaces. And coming up this weekend, you can score some secondhand treasures and help out local kids. On Saturday, there'll be a pop-up thrift shop to raise money for Camp Hands of Hope. Organizers tell us they've collected a lot of great donations, which are stored in the pods you see there in that video.
Oh my goodness, we have a ton of materials. We have all kinds of, we have lamps, office equipment, we have some refrigerators, we have some desks.
Some treasures to be found. The pop-up shop will benefit Camp Hands of Hope. It's a program provided free for children who are grieving the loss of a loved one. So if you want to check out that shop, makes a big impact on those kids' lives. It's happening Saturday from 7 a.m. until 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Floyd Road in Spartanburg. And if you want to celebrate National Tequila Day coming up with a spicy margarita, we've got an idea for you. We'll show you how it's done. And a group of people previously deferred from donating blood can now roll up their sleeves to give. We'll tell you about that change. And after an auto accident, following up with the doctor may not be at the top of your list, but we'll tell you why it's worth doing anyway. Right now, another update on breaking news with Chris.
Yeah, a downtown accident fatal this morning at 6:30 is beginning to clear now at Church Street and East North Street. They have not totally gotten the roadways open yet. We'll let you know as soon as they do.
The following segment is sponsored by Smith Injury Law and 300hurt.com.
After being involved in an auto accident, there's a lot going on, and it can be overwhelming, from dealing with insurance, taking care of your own health, and protecting your case. You don't want to make a mistake. So Richard Smith is here from Smith Injury Law to discuss that and talk about some things. Good morning.
Good morning, Margaret.
First thing, right after an accident, it's really common for the person involved to go get checked out at the emergency room. Tell us what happens there.
You should always go to the emergency room if you're having any kind of pain or you think you were injured in the accident and get checked out. Sometimes, though, they will say, you know, come back in several weeks if you're still hurting. That's a mistake. You need to be checked out by your family doctor or seen by somebody else if you're having any pain after a couple of days, because you don't want to have a gap in treatment.
Right. And I guess if at any point in the process the person is told, you know, follow up with this doctor, follow up with that doctor, but they put it off, that it's one more thing on their to-do list and they don't make it there, that's when they're getting themselves in trouble, right?
Absolutely. What happens sometimes, people just don't go back to the doctor after the ER, and maybe several weeks down the road they're still having problems, and they decide, okay, it's still bothering me, I'm going to go on to the doctor now. Well, now you've had a long gap in treatment. The insurance company may deny any more medical treatment, because now they're going to claim, well, if you were really hurt, you'd have been back to the doctor sooner than this. So that's a big problem in a case. If you're hurt, you've got to get medical treatment.
Yeah, so prioritize those visits. And the problem there is just lack of documentation. If there's no documentation or proof of that injury, it gives the insurance company a big opening to say, you know, maybe the injury didn't happen in that crash. What do you want people to know?
Also, don't think that you can't go back to the doctor if you don't have insurance, for example. We have doctors we can refer you to that will treat you and hold their bill until the case is settled. And so if you have a situation where you just can't afford to go back to the doctor because you don't have health insurance, if you're hurting and you're involved in an accident and it's not your fault, we can definitely help that situation.
Yeah, and it's nice to have you in somebody's corner as somebody they trust, because a lot of times there are mistakes that people can make after an auto accident that they just might not think about. You wrote a book about that.
Absolutely. That's part of the book, obviously, in the chapter about gaps in medical treatment. If you don't go to the doctor regularly, you can't document your injuries. So if you're sitting home using ice packs and taking goody powders or whatever, you can't document that to the insurance company. So this is a situation where you have to prove your injuries. It's your burden of proof, not theirs.
Yeah. And at Smith Injury Law, your practice areas include personal injury, workers' compensation, car and truck collisions, Social Security disability claims. Tell us a little bit more about your practice and what it's like to work with you.
Well, we try to take our clients' complaints seriously. We represent the client. We're arguing on their behalf. We try to give them free information whenever possible. We help them with property damage claims as well as bodily injury claims. But we're there for you. There's no fee to ever talk to us about the case. When you can get a free consultation, and we only get a settlement if the case is settled or we get a verdict at trial. Now, costs are a separate issue, but costs are usually very minimal in a case until you're looking at litigation down the road.
Yeah, well, people can read 10 Critical Mistakes book. They can request that from you for free and really learn a lot. And they can visit 300hurt.com, or they can call you at 300hurt to learn more. Richard Smith, Smith Injury Law, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Margaret.
Now your Fox Carolina First Alert weather.
Time now, 9:16. Good Wednesday morning once again, everybody. Still a cloudy start to our day with a look out over Clemson. As we see over the university this morning, not only is it cloudy, it's pretty hazy too, but where other areas are starting to break into some sunshine, you'll eventually get there in the Clemson area too. Beyond that, it's warm and pretty steamy again. 76 degrees your current temperature, and your dew point way up there at 73. That's that tropical humidity that just absolutely refuses to let go here in the Western Carolinas. And on top of that, while things are pretty quiet across our immediate viewing area this morning, just south of Elberton, we've been watching this growing thunderstorm here. Thankfully, it's moving away from the area, but I show it to you here just to highlight that, one, there was a little bit of light rain spilling off from it into the Elberton area, but two, just that the atmosphere already, even in the morning time frame, is unstable enough to support these hit or miss type showers and thunderstorms. And while they're just outside of the area for now, they could certainly start straying in here in the next few hours. And then the eventual expectation, of course, is that more will develop as we reach more of the daytime heating and some sunshine breaking out this afternoon. Beyond today's activity, which will still be, more on the hit or miss side, and the potential is there for a stronger or maybe a severe storm like we've seen the last couple of afternoons, more organized storms and potentially more organized severe weather comes in tomorrow with this cold frontal boundary. It's a new one emerging from the central U.S. today, and it's a more potent one, too. As that sweeps over the area heading into tomorrow, we're likely to get a more widespread round of storms out of it, and thus a growing potential for severe weather, and why we're calling a first alert weather day for tomorrow. So let's time it out here. Future Track showing us still those ongoing hit or miss type showers and storms out there this morning. A few of them beginning to kind of bubble up or break away and one way or another move in across the rest of the area as we hit as early as lunchtime today. Then into this afternoon, you get more sunshine punching on through. There's some more intense downpours, maybe some slightly stronger storms getting going between the 3 to 6 o'clock time frame. Like yesterday, these could get just organized enough to maybe approach or slightly get into severe thresholds, meaning we could see, some sporadic damaging winds like we've seen the last couple of days. So all the more reason to stay weather aware. We largely quiet down tonight, but there may be a leftover isolated storm here and there, some in the mountains, some maybe even straying into the upstate. But then the front arrives by about mid-morning or so, first in the mountains tomorrow, then tracks south across the upstate into tomorrow afternoon. And it's that more widespread outbreak of storms that has that greater potential to produce some severe weather. It's going to be most likely for scattered severe storms in this slight risk zone that you see across the upstate and into northeast Georgia tomorrow. But even in this marginal zone in the mountains, that means you too could see an isolated severe storm on Thursday. Main concern for severe weather itself is going to be damaging winds, and some large hail is also possible. But these will also be easily torrential rain producing storms, so we could even see, of course, some localized flooding here and there. So 91 upstate today, then a first alert weather day tomorrow for that growing severe weather potential. Staying hot into the weekend. In fact, highs still pegged for the mid-90s on Saturday and Sunday. And in the mountains, scattered storms today, upper 80s into tomorrow's first alert weather day, and then some low 90s, keeping it hot as we head into the weekend. Margaret Ann?
There's new information this morning. Federal regulators are now allowing more people to give blood. This comes in the wake of the pandemic and nationwide shortages that we've seen. The FDA has taken a second look at its rules. And now some people who were previously banned from donating will be allowed to help out once again. Fox Carolina's Myra Ruiz is showing us more.
Every 2 months, I want to be right there donating blood. I want my family to do that too, and now a lot of my family members can.
Allie Van Dyke may seem extra enthusiastic about getting a needle up her arm to donate blood. That's because for many years she couldn't. She learned the hard way in college.
I got on a bus. They were giving a t-shirt and pizza, so what college kid doesn't want those two things? I get on and we go through the questions, and she gets to that question and said, "Did you live in England in these years?" Or the UK, and I said, "Yes." And she said, "I'm sorry, but you can't donate today." And I said, "Okay, well, when can I donate?" And she's like, "Well, this is actually a permanent deferral, which means you can't donate for the rest of your life." I burst into tears.
She lived in England with her British dad and American mom between the ages of 3 and 7 in the 1990s. For more than 2 decades, the FDA deferred blood donations from people who spent up to 3 months in the UK, including England, Scotland, and more, between 1980 and 1996, or those who spent 5 years in France or Ireland between 1980 and 2001.
Specifically, decades ago, the FDA put in this regulation to make sure that all blood transfusions were safe for the possibility of mad cow disease. And after years of analysis and studying, they have found that that's not transmissible and it is safe, so they don't have to worry about that regulation anymore.
News that sounds like music to Allie.
So I know that a lot of people are going to feel like me. I actually have a British neighbor, and he asked me the other day, he's like, "Can I donate now?" And I said, "Yes, you can. You want to go together?"
It's extra special because not only has she wanted to donate, but she actually works for the Blood Connection.
Well, I always felt like the biggest hypocrite because I would go on TV and I would ask people to donate blood, and then I myself could not donate blood. So I'm glad that I can help in this way.
Coming up when we return, we expect the White House to take action on some pretty important issues heading into the midterms, including climate change and abortion access. We'll have more on what the president plans to do when the morning news returns.
The following segment is sponsored by Ingles, the Southern Table.
If you shop for groceries at Ingles supermarkets, you love the savings and the quality and convenience. Ingles also brings us the Southern Table. In today's episode, everything you need to create a beautiful garden tablescape for the summer season.
Hey y'all, I'm Erin Barnett.
And I'm Kelly Smith.
Here in the South, the table is a symbol of family and friendship.
A place to gather with the ones we love.
And there's always a place for you.
Right here
at the Southern Table. Presented by Ingles. Summer in the South is the season of entertaining, and Ingles makes it so easy for us.
Hey friends, welcome to the Southern Table. That's right, Ingles makes it so easy to make all of your guests feel special, regardless if you're on a budget or you're in a hurry. We can do both.
And they've got wonderful seasonal finds. This has been our go-to in the season of entertaining, starting with some beautiful items that we're going to show you here in just a minute. But it really is a budget-friendly idea.
It really is. You know us. We love to cut corners, and wrapping paper is a great way to do that and really elevate your table, give it that depth and color that you're craving for the summer, and that's exactly what we've done. We've started our table with the gift wrapping, just laying it over, and now let's talk gift bags.
The gift bags, because I love this. You can cut one bag in half and create 2 placemats. Again, another budget-friendly idea to just add some more layers and colors and textures to your table to really elevate the style.
I love that. It just gives it that depth and makes you feel like you're glammed up
it
for the
does.
summer.
So we're going to add some chargers in too that we love.
Of course we are.
But then we turn to the seasonal finds that we talked about. These are truly treasures at Ingles. Every season they put out new sets of outdoor plates or options for you. These are just beautiful.
We love everything about this. And of course, Ingles also has some beautiful selections of just your everyday dishes as well. Everyone needs a set of these white dishes.
You can really mix them in with any table setting.
And they look so pretty.
And look how cute the bees are.
I know.
I love these.
These are the best, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean,
So cute.
we wanted all of these. So you
cute.
just layer those. Now it's time for your napkins.
Yes, this is amazing hack.
This is so
We
fun.
found these over in the cleaning section.
That's right. These are flour sack rags. They come in a little bit larger form here. We've simply cut those right down the middle, and then you can cut them again to create 4 napkins out of your rag.
These are perfect for summer. They're so lightweight.
I love them. They kind of give you that linen feel, if you will. We've added the mason jar lid right there. What's so southern like the mason jar? And then top it off with a beautiful flower. And that has to make your guests feel so special.
Speaking of flowers, the floral department has some gorgeous arrangements ready to go for you to grab right there at the checkout counter. And we just added some beautiful fruits to add that fresh touch.
It says summer. Hey, speaking of plants, we're adding a few more because, hey, the more the merrier.
That's
we
always
grab
our rule of
these
thumb.
in the floral department, and they really just top off the look.
And all we need now is our little summer hats, Kelly. There you go.
We are garden party
We are
ready.
Remember, there's always a place for you.
At the Southern Table, presented by Ingles. We'll see you next time.
We're back at 9:30 on the Fox Carolina Money Watch. Netflix is trying to figure out how to reverse course on a slide it's been seeing in U.S. and Canada-based subscribers. The streaming giant says it had a drop-off of about 1.3 million subscribers in the U.S. and Canada during its second quarter. That's more than double the subscriber drop that happened in the first quarter. Netflix is hoping its partnership with Microsoft and will have a cheaper ad-based tier that'll help to add subscribers. A new Instagram feature lets you play tourist and find businesses and learn what others say about those businesses. New Instagram Maps allow you to search for places nearby, see information about them, and then find out what people are saying about those places. The maps can be accessed through tags and placed in a post or story by tapping on the tag, or you can use Instagram's Explore feature to take you to that place. Well, despite inflation, the gaming industry is finding that people will still shell out money to play. Hasbro has raised prices on many of its popular items, but the revenue is still coming in. The maker of Monopoly, Play-Doh, and Nerf posted $142 million in income for the quarter ending in June, and Hasbro's revenue was up to more than $1.34 billion. So that company says it's not worried about inflation even into the holiday season. We send it over to First Alert meteorologist Brian Bachman now. Watching for a First Alert weather day tomorrow. Good day to stay in and play, maybe.
Yeah, looking that way, especially with those storms on Thursday expected to arrive a little bit earlier in the day, but have a greater potential of becoming severe. We'll take a much closer look at that coming up a little bit later on, but let's take a look at what's happening out there today, because we're not free of the chance of storms on our Wednesday. First Alert radar showing some sun beginning to get a firmer hold around places like Lawrence, into parts of Spartanburg, Union, and Newberry counties, and even in some of the western mountain spots right now. But proving a bit stubborn, that cloud coverage anywhere from Hendersonville, Rutherfordton, over toward the greater Greenville and Clemson areas. We'll eventually see more sun break out. But of course, with it still being so warm and humid, we're looking at the potential for more storms to fire up as things heat up this afternoon. Already up to 80 degrees in Greenville, despite the relative lack of sunshine. 77 in Lawrence and Abbeville, 79 Greenwood and Newberry, and mostly in the 70s now in the mountains. And of course, it is quite humid once again. Our dew points into those low and mid 70s, meaning we've got plenty of fuel in the atmosphere for more storms this afternoon. Looking at another day of seasonably hot conditions, though. Nothing too unusual for this time of the year. High temperatures right around the mark of the low 90s and upper 80s upstate today, with mid to upper 80s coming your way in the mountains. And of course, those scattered storms becoming more numerous, so make sure you're keeping an eye to the sky later on today. Full timeline on those, plus tomorrow's First Alert weather day coming up in about 10 minutes.
All right, it's 9:33 on the dot. President Biden heads to Massachusetts today to push new climate change measures after Democrats came up short on Capitol Hill. But that's not the only big issue where he's considering new executive actions. Reporter Doug Luzader has much more this morning from Washington.
Climate change and abortion access. Those are two issues where Democrats just don't have the numbers here in the Hill, so the president may push the boundaries of his office to do more. Dive in and cool off. A number of states with scorching temperatures this week. The White House sees this extreme weather as more evidence that climate action can't wait.
The impacts of extreme weather are intensifying across the globe, including here in the United States. No one is immune from climate change.
President Biden will travel to an out-of-commission coal plant in Massachusetts today to talk about new executive actions on climate change after efforts for a big climate package failed on Capitol Hill. And even the Senate Majority Leader is urging the president to go around Congress.
And yes, I called for him to create a climate emergency, call for it, and I still believe that.
And while the White House says the president will stop short of declaring a national emergency, whatever he announces today could face legal challenges.
It's not enough to say, well, they didn't give me what I wanted. You know, the system is designed to force these divisive issues into Congress and to forge a compromise. If you can't, then you've got to forge a new majority in Congress.
And this goes beyond climate change. Yesterday, a number of Democratic lawmakers were arrested for blocking a street outside the Supreme Court, protesting the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. And here, too, Congress is unlikely to muster the votes to codify abortion rights, upping the pressure on the White House to do more. And the administration so far has stopped short of declaring a public health emergency over abortion access, but it is, they say, on the table. In Washington, I'm Doug Luzader for Fox Carolina, The Morning News.
Vice President Kamala Harris will discuss reproductive rights with leaders in North Carolina tomorrow. She's going to make a stop in Charlotte, where she'll also talk about efforts to expand affordable high-speed internet there. 9:35, and there's new details this morning. A South Carolina judge is moving up. The Senate confirmed the nomination of Judge Michelle Childs to the U.S. Court of Appeals in the D.C. Circuit. This federal court is typically seen as the proving ground for the nation's highest bench. Childs was on President Biden's short list of potential Supreme Court nominees earlier this year. Senator Lindsey Graham praised Childs' confirmation, saying in part, quote, "Judge Childs is an extremely talented lawyer and has proven to be a fair-minded judge. She will be a great addition to the D.C. Circuit Court." Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley hinted at a potential 2024 presidential run after tweeting that the president is desperate to get back to the Iran nuclear deal. Then in another tweet, she wrote, "If Biden signs any deal, she promises the next president will shred it on her first day in office." Haley previously served as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations under former President Trump.
National Tequila Day sneaks up on us every year, but it is coming up Sunday, July 24th. Our friend Brandy Laster is here to talk about tequila with us. Hey, Brandy.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Good.
Thank you.
Good to have you. We did a segment before, covering some of the versatility of tequila. There's so many different ranges. How do you pick a good tequila? Any advice?
Most tequila, your white tequilas are normally used for your mixing drinks, for your tequila sunrises, your margaritas, things like that. Whereas your high-end aged, your añejos and reposados are more for a sipping palate.
Okay, so the connoisseurs would sip out of the glass that on ice.
Probably sip, yes. So we have a few of these.
Okay, oh, those are pretty.
And so it just depends on everyone's taste buds.
Well, you make a recipe that people really like. This is for a spicy margarita. Tell us what's in this.
It's one of my favorites.
What's it called?
It is a spicy jalapeno pineapple margarita.
Excellent.
So what I do with this is I will take some jalapenos, fresh pineapple, and just a dash of pineapple in that. And then we're going to use 2 ounces of reposado in this.
Excellent.
All right, there we go. We want to muddle this up very good. You want some fresh lime juice in it. And this, the jalapenos to taste. So
spicier people want more jalapenos.
People want more, yes. Just a little bit of organic lime juice, and then we got some triple sec in there. We'll mix that all up. Pour some sour mix in. Okay, and then I like to top this off with a dash of hot sauce, like a Harvey Chestnut.
Good idea.
He's a local producer of hot sauce around town. It's great. You can use Tabasco or anything else like that. What I've done here is I'm rimming this with a Tajín rim. This is going to be your chili powder, sea salt, and lime.
Great.
This brings out the flavor of it. So, and the more you shake these, the better you get the juices seem to release in the drink.
So it's not just for show. The shaking has purpose.
No, the shaking has purpose. So it releases all the, you get the smoky flavor, the hot, the, spicy, all of it together. So, and then you just serve this right up over ice. Feel that.
Beautiful presentation too.
And here we go.
That is a gorgeous drink, Brandy, and people can find you these days at Hall of Fame Sports, where you have a golf-themed margarita on the menu. What's that one?
We sure do. It is a classic twist on a regular margarita, your classic margarita, with a splash of OJ. It's very refreshing after a day on the golf course.
All right, we've got that Mulligan margarita. The recipe is posted online, along with the recipe for this one.
Of course.
Anything else you want people to consider? Maybe they're gonna play with a margarita recipe of their own at home.
It's very fun. Margaritas can be all different kinds. My family makes one. It's called a perfect margarita. So it's 1800 lime juice, sour mix. We've used Cointreau in it and Grand Marnier as a floater. It's amazing. Tequila is very versatile. You can try it with anything.
Yeah. Well, we love to explore it with you. Thank you so much for the expertise and the demonstration, Brandy. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy National Tequila Day.
Yeah. Well, if somebody watches the 6 winning numbers this Friday, they'll have a place in Lotto history. We're going to tell you what is at stake. Now another update on traffic with Chris Scott.
Yeah, east-north at Church Street has now cleared after that fatal accident from earlier this morning. All the roads are open downtown for you. Again, that is at east-north, and the Church Street area all open now.
The following segment is sponsored by Color Beauty.
It's the time of year for people to gather with the ones they love. Whether you're traveling to see family or hosting a special meal, you'll want to look and feel your best. So imagine how much easier it would be if you had one foundation for all of your shades. That's no more guessing, no more makeup drawers packed with colors, but one foundation that automatically matches your unique color each and every time. Lifestyle consultant Annette Figueroa is here to tell us about the amazing technology behind the Color Beauty self-adjusting foundation. Hi, Annette.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and talk about Color Beauty.
Yeah, it's revolutionizing the way people think about their makeup routine. So tell us a little bit about what makes Color Beauty so different.
Yeah, so there's so many choices when it comes to coverage for foundation. It is overwhelming. Well, no more worries because Color Beauty took the mixing and matching, no more guesswork out of it because the color matches your skin tone naturally. It actually has secret color beads that releases a formula with natural silicates and an SPF of 50, so it's going to lock in moisture in your skin and protects you from sun damage.
And how exactly does it work? I know you can show us in a demonstration, right? How does it match your skin tone?
Yeah, I would love to show you. So it starts out white, and basically as it's releasing those secret color beads, you're going to see a rich color. It's lightweight, non-greasy formula. Literally feels like you have moisturizer on, but the coverage is amazing. Face to neck, you never have to worry about it. Looks completely natural. I don't wake up looking like this. It's thanks to Color Beauty.
So one foundation, does it work for all skin types, one color?
That's a great question. So I'm going to put up these two beautiful women, two different skin tones, both using the same bottle of foundation. So if you stay in half the summer away from the sun or in the other half you lay out, Color Beauty is going to give you that perfect match every single time. It's not thick or caked on, lightweight, non-greasy formula, shine-free matte finish.
And all year round, we need to protect our skin from the sun, and Color Beauty does that with 50 SPF, right?
Yes, if you can imagine when you use an SPF of 50, how thick it is, and it also would burn my skin. I have very sensitive skin. Well, Color Beauty is actually soothing. It's lightweight, non-greasy. They came up with a way to keep it that way, and it protects your skin from sun damage, also covers up those sunspots. And if you use the foundation with the primer, it really, really enhances your skin.
And I know you've got another before and after photo of a Color Beauty user. What are we seeing in this one?
Yeah, so it's just to go to show you how easy Color Beauty is to use and the results that you can expect to get with Color Beauty.
Well, Color Beauty products are made in the U.S. They're affordable, and you have amazing promotion right now for our viewers. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so today you're going to get the Ultimate Beauty Package for 40% off, free shipping. We're throwing in this eyelash enhancer, and basically this helps your eyelashes grow, conditions the eyelashes, prevents breakage. You put it on before your mascara and it really volumizes those eyelashes, makes your eyes pop. And what I love about this, you're also going to receive the primer, and that blurs those imperfections, reduces the look of fine lines and wrinkles because of those clinically studied peptides, and it's fully loaded with vitamin C, peptides, and ceramides to give your skin that flawless appearance. If you're traveling, we've got you covered with that SPF of 50. You got to give it a try.
Excellent. And that website, color40.com, on screen, along with the 1-800 number to call. I think a lot of people are going to want to try Color Beauty. So, Annette, thank you so much for being here and showing it to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, your Fox Carolina First Alert weather.
9:46 now. Good Wednesday morning once again, everyone. Still seeing a lot of these stubborn clouds out there in a good chunk of the upstate and parts of the mountains here. Certainly from our Harley-Davidson cam here over Greenville, you can see these gray skies not producing any showers or storms on us right now. So overall good conditions for mid to late morning travel here. But that, of course, likely to change as we head into this afternoon, because as these clouds break up and we heat up, you know the drill. More showers and storms coming our way for today. And in fact, we're already seeing some storms kind of skirting the southwest corner of our area this morning in and around Elberton. You've kind of been back and forth between some light rain in the last hour and a half or so. You see the more cloud coverage here across Greenville over toward Clemson and Anderson. This will tend to build east and evaporate off a bit in the next few hours. And, of course, then that daytime heating will fuel those growing showers and storms. And then for tomorrow, we're going to watch this more potent new cold frontal boundary barreling its way on out of the plains. That's going to sweep our way on Thursday, giving us a more organized round of storms when it arrives and increasing the potential that we'll get some severe weather out of it as well. So on Future Track, going to the 10 o'clock time frame, still just illustrating that, you know, more pop-up showers or storms are possible even before we get to this afternoon. They will, I think, start to pop up more in a bit more earnest as we approach midday, and then certainly into this afternoon as those clouds break away and we get into some more steady sunshine. Watching particularly parts of the upstate around Clemson to Toccoa in toward the Greenville area by about the 3 to 4 o'clock time frame, and then building southeast and maybe even becoming a little bit stronger and more organized parts of the area south of I-85 by the time we hit about the 6 to 8 p.m. time frame. We've, of course, seen the last couple of afternoons some strong to occasionally severe storms doing some damage. So make sure you're staying weather aware today. We'll mostly quiet down overnight. Could be an isolated leftover shower or storm here and there, but then the more organized activity starts to come in with the cold front. First rolling into the mountains around mid-morning or so tomorrow. Here's the 9 o'clock hour, for example. From there, it will then sweep its way off toward the southeast as the day goes on. So as these storms build down out of the mountains and into the upstate, they'll be getting into a lot of those areas as the daytime heating peaks. So we're likely to see those storms intensify a little bit, and that's why the upstate in particular has a better shot at seeing scattered severe storms for tomorrow. Biggest concerns are going to be for damaging winds. We've already seen several instances of those this week with numerous trees reported down, some falling on houses, knocking down power lines. That's going to be the big concern out of those storms for tomorrow. Can't rule out some large hail either, but of course overwhelming all of that is going to be the threat of torrential rain. We've seen that time and time again with this abundant humidity. That's pretty much a guarantee, so you have to stay alert for localized flooding as those storms come in tomorrow as well. So upstate forecast today. 91 with isolated showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Scattered storms with the potential for severe weather. So tomorrow, a first alert weather day. We'll, of course, keep you updated on that throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. And then looking at some heat continuing to build over the weekend as highs top the mid-90s Saturday and Sunday. Scattered storms today, 87 in the mountains. First alert weather day for the potential of severe weather on Thursday. And also looking at some hot weekend weather as highs top the low 90s. Margaret Ann?
All right, well, coming up at the top of the hour, former Low Country attorney Alec Murdaugh will make his first court appearance since being charged with the murders of his wife and son. Last week, a Colleton County grand jury indicted Murdaugh on 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of possessing a firearm. This came more than a year after Murdaugh called 911 to report that he had found his wife and son shot to death outside of their family's hunting lodge. Now, their deaths set off a major investigation that uncovered evidence of multiple crimes that have been tied to Alec. Fox Carolina's Cody Alcorn is in Colleton County to cover this morning's hearing. He is inside the courtroom right now. We will be streaming that hearing live on foxcarolina.com as soon as it starts in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes at 10 o'clock. After that hearing, we are going to be back on air with Fox Carolina's Cody Alcorn to recap exactly what happened behind those closed doors. Taking you live right now, this is over Clemson as we are getting a look at the weather conditions out there. Not too great to start off this Wednesday, but hopefully things will start to brighten up out there. We're back after this.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
We're back at 9:53. The Mega Millions jackpot just ballooned to $630 million after no winners to match last night's winning 6 numbers. If it had been won, that $555 million would have been the 5th largest jackpot in the lottery's history. But of course, it rolls over, and lottery officials say strong ticket sales certainly helped to push last night's prize to this historic mark. The drawing next is Friday night. A run on ice cream in Britain. This is a sad-looking set of supermarket shelves. They are coping with an unprecedented heat wave there in the UK. Shoppers walking past empty freezers in London. They're hoping to find a sweet treat to cool off, but of course the shelves were empty. Fans, hoses, air conditioning units are also very much in high demand. Weather officials in the UK say a new temperature record in Charlwood was reached Tuesday of 102.4 degrees. What is the best chance to celebrate one of America's summertime staples? Today is National Hot Dog Day. I'm sorry I didn't say so earlier. Break out the ketchup, mustard, chili, whatever you like on your hot dog. The National Hot Dog and Sausage Council designated the day back in 1991. So make yourself a hot dog at home, buy one, post a photo on social media if you want to play along using the hashtag National Hot Dog Day for others to join. There's a holiday I can get behind.
Yeah.
Agree.
I love a hot dog. I don't want to talk about what's in a hot dog, but I love a hot dog.
That's the best part. Yeah, there was actually in a line that says hot dogs are made of this, this, and this. I was like, we don't need to
Take it
No,
out.
we're fine. We're fine.
We don't need it.
I'm fine with the mystery.
That's right.
There's enough
let it
going
be.
on in this world that I want to know what's in a hot dog.
Too true.
I like that.
Oh boy.
Not too much mystery. I mean, you've got it figured out what's coming our way.
Yeah, we're
Well,
going to see another round of storms popping up this afternoon. And, like we've seen the last couple of afternoons, can't rule out one or two getting on the stronger side. So stay weather alert today and then especially tomorrow. Tomorrow is a first alert weather day because we have a more widespread likelihood of some strong to severe storms. We're staying in the low 90s through Friday in the upstate, then highs will peak in the mid 90s this weekend. Some isolated storm chances coming back into the mix on Sunday, but at least after tomorrow's severe weather, we'll get a break from it for a couple of days as full-bore summer weather just continues to march on.
And thank you for joining us this morning. This is a live look right now inside of the courtroom where Alec Murdaugh is set to appear starting at 10 o'clock this morning. Cody Alcorn is live inside of that courtroom right now. We're going to have him. We're going to be breaking into your programming as soon as we get more on this. We will be streaming it on our website at foxcarolina.com for you right now.